Welcome back to Studio 701. There are a growing number of podcasters and authors in the state.
And we like to celebrate these creators by getting in on the conversation.
In today's Let's Talk, we welcome James Walner. Thank you so much for being here, James. We're excited to have you.
Thank you, Caitlin and Amber. Nice to be here.
Now, you have a true crime podcast produced here in North Dakota. What made you want to do this, and tell us a little bit about it?
Well, I guess it falls under the true crime genre. I see it more as investigative journalism, but, it's definitely covering different crimes. I have looked at closed cases. I have talked about cases that are unsolved. I looked into a case from 1976 where a couple were murdered in Zeeland, North Dakota, and there's no real mystery about that, but I still want to understand more about that whole story. And as you noted, I'm currently looking into a case about a missing girl, Barbara Louise Cotton, out of Williston, North Dakota, who went missing in 1981.
Yeah, that's your season 5 story, and she was only 15 years old when she went missing, which I understand we're coming up on the 40th anniversary of that date. So, why did you pick this story in particular? And what will we learn about the case when we listen to your podcast?
So, it's a good question. It's been on my radar for a few years. It's listed on the North Dakota Attorney General's website as a cold case. And there's very little information. It basically just says Barbara Cotton went missing in in April of 1981. And I tried to find more information on it. I reached out to a retired detective about 3 years ago. I got a very respectful response that he didn't want to comment because it is an open and ongoing case. So we're still trying to find, law enforcement is still trying to find answers about what happened to Barbara. So, and then I went up to Williston in January of this year and met with Barbara's childhood friend in the park we're looking at right here, I think, Recreation Park. Where is supposedly the last place anyone saw Barbara. I mean, there's a lot of unknowns here. There's a lot of mystery around her last known movements. There's a lot of confusion. So I went up there and met her childhood friend, Sandy, and I thought I was going to do one episode, and I've been working on it ever since. So I put out episode 9 last night, actually.
Very interesting. So obviously this is a mystery that you're hoping to solve. When people are listening to this, are you hoping that they can kind of help solve this mystery with you as well?
Absolutely. And, the Williston PD do as well. They have basically, I talk about in the podcast, they've 3 persons of interest, at least 3 persons of interest. And they've said openly that they would like more information on any of these people. And one of them is Barbara's brother. They said if anyone has any information on her oldest brother, I should be clear here, his name is Frank, he's deceased. Another person of interest is a gentleman named Stacy Werder. And then there's a third one who I talked about in last night's episode, Frank de la Pena, who actually did murder 2 girls in Williston about a month after Barbara went missing. And he was living in Williston at the time when Barbara went missing. But basically, if you know anything about what happened to Barbara, if you saw her with a gentleman named Stacy Werder or or this other person, Frank de la Pena, if you have any information, you should call the Williston Police Department. I have the number up here. It's 701-577-1212. Ask to talk to the detectives and tell them you have information about missing Barbara Cotton. Some people have said they're not comfortable doing that. You're welcome to reach out to me as well. I have you can email me at dakotaspotlight@gmail.com. But basically, if anyone has any information, and another thing, I keep hearing from people that, I have I know this, but I don't see how that would help. And sometimes it is incredibly important information. The other day I spoke with someone who said, I think I saw Barbara that last night. She went missing, but I don't see how that will help. Well, obviously that is incredibly important information. So people really need to come forward. No matter how silly you think the information is, you should reach out to Williston PD or myself and just come forward. That's the main message I want to get out today.
How incredible would that be to help in getting some closure about this case? So how can people listen to A Better Search for Barbara Cotton? Not everyone is familiar with podcasts. How can people most easily find it?
Yeah, that's something I keep hearing. You know, I think people maybe are a little embarrassed when they don't know what a podcast is. You don't have to be embarrassed. Podcasts are relatively new, right? Especially my generation and older. People maybe don't want to admit, oh, I don't really know what a podcast is. But if we all remember radio shows or listening to the radio, it's basically a radio, you could consider it a radio program that's not being broadcast live. And pretty much any cell phone has an app. You can install a podcast app. Just search for a podcast app on your phone, install it, and then search for Dakota Spotlight podcast. You could also go to my website, dakotaspotlight.com. And people should know that you can stop and pause a podcast. You can replay it several times. Sometimes people will say, well, what time will it air? Well, they don't air. It's kind of like hitting the play button on Spotify, listening to music and things like that. So there are many ways to listen to a podcast, and it's never too late.
And that's why I love them. They're so convenient. So fascinating stuff. Thank you so much for your time today, James.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
This has been Let's Talk, and for more information, once again, make sure you visit dakotaspotlight.com. And coming up next,